So, good morning, or afternoon, or evening, whenever it is, wherever you are. My name is Quick. My name is Quick. My name is Kit. Welcome to Betwixed. Oh my. So, just so you know, I actually just mostly completed this video. And the memory card ran out of room, and I basically do not have editing capabilities at this point. So I'm, essentially starting from the beginning. It's not quite as, there's some nuances to that, but I'll get to those in a bit. So today is the 1 week anniversary of the first video that I successfully filmed, put on the computer, got up on YouTube, and posted on, in the EOL community on Facebook, and, made a Twitter thing, because the Twitter thing's automatic almost with YouTube. So today I just want to reflect a bit on, what's happened so far and where I'm feeling the inspiration to go, at least within this moment. So including last Sunday, July 1st, this has been 8 days. In that time, I have meditated all mornings except yesterday, when Mom and I basically got up early and went for a really nice walk around a lake in a monastery about an hour away from where she lives. And I think that's a fair trade. And then all but that day, and then one day a bit earlier in the week, I have made a video. So that's within the 8 days, 6 videos, if you only want to count 7 because it's a week. That's 5 videos, because math is hard. And I, that's, in terms of just like going with the flow and not being, ooh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. I'd say that's good. That's a really good balance. It's like if I did a bit more, that would be great. But it's not something to pressure myself over at all. And I really like, I'm very comfortable and at peace with that balance. So what's happened within those 8 days? In sort of taking a bit, meditating this morning and taking a bit of time to sort of reflect before making this video, the two things that really stood out for me, and I, when I was going through this the first time, it actually occurred to me they're very much part and parcel with each other, is sort of allowing for just the balance and interaction of both structure and flow, and then also from that just embracing doing things you didn't necessarily expect to do. So for me, it's structure and flow. Like, when I first wrote this down, I was like, well, there's structure and that helps get things done, but flow's what enlivens it. And it's like, that's not actually true. Structure is, structure's a compass, essentially. Structure is their sort of points of reference so that you're able to navigate. It is the compass. And it's very important so that you're not, for me, you're not just like, woo, woo, and just, going in circles or just going back and forth sort of aimlessly. But just because a compass is important to navigate doesn't mean that staring at a compass actually gets you anywhere. you still need the wind behind your sails. And that's where flow comes in. Because like, once again, for me, if I'm just trying to do something for the structure, I freeze up. I stop being able to do things at all. And that is where, where flow comes in. It's like, okay, so yes, you need to find housing. Yes, you need to find some way of supporting yourself one way or another. And yes, that way of supporting yourself needs to give room for being able to be free and explore, unless it's literally what you want to do for the rest of your life, which, when you're just job hunting for survival, it's not likely to be, at least on that immediate term. Structure, what I have down in my, so the notes from my post-meditation grounding reflection is, so structure and flow equals inspiration going into follow-through. Because, once again, you can just put your sails up and go wherever, but you're probably going to end up wandering around the Atlantic or the Pacific or some ocean. You're not going to necessarily get someplace unless you actually have a clearer, or you're not going to get someplace you necessarily want to be unless you actually have direction, inspirational direction, but you still need that compass is still important. And then that leads into the embracing the unexpected, which for me this past week, probably was most typified by, okay, I did the video, I put this up on YouTube, and then I just, a few things came together, and it's just like, okay, I need to write this. And it was a long Facebook post. When I ended up putting it in a Word document, it was 5 pages long. And I just sat down and just let stuff flow out of me, and that for 4.5 hours. And it felt great. I then just like, well, this is interesting. Maybe other people would be interested too. Shot it off to a sort of online news organization that I know of, because hey, it might be something that they're interested in. It's sort of in line with where they come from. So, but that just really felt good, and it was, I think, a really positive thing, though it had nothing to do with anything I had planned at all, ever, in terms of what was supposed to happen this week or that day. But that is the power of, yes, you have your compass points, but where is the wind calling you right now? And the compass points are there to help you get there, but actually feel as though sensing that wind and letting that be a primary thing instead of, we have to get to America from Europe, and so this is what we're going to try and force to do. And it doesn't matter if the wind is blowing directly against you. No, we'll figure out a way to do this, and you do, somehow. Yes, I know there are ways that they do it. But that's a very different way of moving. And I like this one better. So moving, so that's been this past week. Moving forward, I'm really excited about sort of grounding this process more and sort of working it a bit more into the internet, and so just sort of expanding the reflection part of it. I'm not even sure yet what I mean by that. One thing though, so I'm started today, and I mentioned this earlier, so I have what I'm calling a set list. It's going to do weird things to the color. There we go. Yeah. it won't focus on it. But yeah, there, colors back. And it literally, as I said, is just, instead of just diving straight into the video and sort of trying to, it's like discerning what is coming out of me while I'm trying to say it, just taking that moment of discernment, grounding in that, and then being able to speak from that place of grounding in, okay, this is what's coming out of me. And I think it's working well. Well, and I'll continue doing it and just see how it feels. It's a new thing to try this week. There's also, and I'm also very curious and excited about packaging, these videos a bit, of, maybe writing some introductory music for them, doing a sort of photo montage as the opening credits, and some sort of, I don't know what I do for ending credits because I'm literally the only person involved. But something like that. And just, at this point they're essentially completely unedited, because as I said at the beginning, I don't have really the capacity to edit on my current laptop. I think mostly but just because it has so little memory. Because it's not the editing, it's the process of the laptop then creating a video from the edit. And so, yeah, I'm really interested in exploring new territory with these. I'm very much interested, and maybe I'll even do some of that today, of actually sort of starting to integrate this with the website that I created almost a year ago, but then gave a new domain name to a couple months ago. And, in one of my first videos, I don't know if it's the one that never made it to YouTube, I mentioned, Patreon as something that I'd like to integrate. And just, being, just continuing this journey of, okay, this is where I am. Here I am sharing it with you. And let's continue going through and finding and discovering all the things that are betwixted. And then, of course, I, of course, also have, as I've already mentioned once or twice, job, housing, and life to figure out and take care of now that I'm in the Midwest and not on the Oregon coast. Actually, I wasn't on the coast. I was actually right next to where there's a major fire going on right now. And so, that's where I am. That's of the place I am, and I'm trying to think of a different way of phrasing it, but it's just I am. I am where I am. And so thank you for watching. Really looking forward to finding out what I find and discover and what happens to me this upcoming week. I'm actually going to be doing these from the Twin Cities for the next couple of days. And so, there's all sorts of awesome stuff. And I look forward to sharing my reflections with you here. Until I do, stay betwixted.